Damn it, zoomed. It looks really zoomed in.
You are very close. I mean, it's like right there.
Wait, I can join.
Yes.
I can't really push it back any farther, and I don't know how to control this camera. It doesn't exactly.
You got
have
a party
settings.
tonight, kid, or what? Yeah,
I do.
People
and
over?
Ben's invited. Patrick,
Yeah.
you're not.
Well, I mean, it's only a 12-hour drive. I can be there by 6 a.m.
Wait, is it only 12 hours?
Yeah,
Shockingly,
it was
yes.
funny because I was driving directions where we were when we were in Arizona for Thanksgiving, and it was 11 hours and 45 minutes from like my in-laws' house in Arizona to Dan's house. And
that
then,
sounds right.
And then, 11 hours and then I did it from Mankato to his house, 12 hours and like 12 minutes.
Hold up. So then, what is it till my sister's
It's going to take you to
house?
the I-90. It's going to take you to I-90 from where I'm at. Yeah.
From
A lot of straight shots
nope,
for me.
That's not home. That's not my home anymore. Fuck that.
Wrong
From my
home.
location. Oh yeah, it still has no, not home. My location, you dingus. You
Like
dangus.
how there's no comment about me messing with my camera and my
Oh,
background.
I saw you.
and
It
whatnot.
looked like you. It looked like you like dove under your chair there for a second. The way that your camera went.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, I got like half of my setup working. I don't know how to get the rest of it going.
11
so we'll deal
hours,
with that another
52
time.
minutes. To
Oh,
his
is
place.
Mankato? Is Mankato in like south?
It's a south
Western?
central Minnesota. Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say because there it is. You
Yeah.
literally drive through Mankato to get to Minneapolis.
Yeah, you have to. Yep. So that would be
Oh.
like another hour and a half. So
yeah,
it'd be
it's
like,
only 13 hours to Minneapolis. That's that's not bad.
That isn't bad. No, it's really weird that it's the same distance from Mankato to Aurora, Colorado, as it is from Aurora, Colorado to like Tempe.
Well, there's actually kind of a direct route that's a kind of a direct diagonal line to get there. There
Yeah.
is absolutely no diagonal route to get from Denver to Phoenix. You have to
Right.
take a bunch of right angle turns. It's like, you
Right.
go through Albuquerque or you go through you go through Albuquerque. Or I guess you can go through Utah too, but
I'm trying to bring up the subreddit in order to get ready for this episode. Unless you guys want to just talk about something else,
I don't care.
I got
Whatever.
nothing.
because I don't really have. I mean, there's enough going on in the world to fill multiple episodes worth of material.
I also haven't been on in 5 episodes or so.
Well, this is the 5th episode of the season. 6 months later, so
I was on the first episode.
all right. Well, it's been 4 episodes. Welcome back, everyone, to Overqualified Idiots. For those tuning in for the first time, this is a podcast where doctors, lawyers, a rocket scientist, used to have pharmacists, come together to share our stories, shoot the breeze, and talk about current events. Sure, we're, well-trained, well-educated, but at the end of the day, we are a bunch of dumb guys. So, I am Dan Casey, MD, sports medicine specialist, and currently slumming it in the urgent care world. I love my schedule, and that's about all I love. Working 3 days a week and basically working 12-hour shifts and coming home and having like a 4-day weekend is fantastic. But those 12 hours are brutal because I happen to work at the busiest clinic in the city. But joining me today is my brother, Pat Casey, JD.
Well, hello there.
I swear to God, if I took and could splice, if I was smart enough and savvy enough to splice like a YouTube short or a TikTok with all of your intros, it'd be the same hello there. Just fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi.
It's
every
Obi-Wan
time.
Kenobi. Yeah.
I know it is, but it's you because you look like Ewan McGregor.
A very hefty Ewan McGregor, but yes.
Also joining us today, back from the dead, is Benjineer. Welcome, Ben.
General Kenobi.
Thank you.
General Kenobi. All right. So we typically start these segments off with small talk. How are you guys doing? Anybody got anything of note or new in their world?
I'm in a different state now.
That's right. You're in Colorado now. You're on the other side of the city from me, but it's just a short drive on the one toll road in the entire city. I love and hate the 470 because it gets you
It's
anywhere.
a great highway.
Yeah.
It's a great highway.
Why do I pay
wish we were on the
taxes?
correct side of the city.
Why do I pay taxes to have to use it? Or pay tolls? Why is it a toll road when every other road in the entire state is not? Anyways, but yeah, no, you're on the wrong side of the city, buddy.
Tell me something that's in Aurora besides Aurora.
Ooh. There's Southlands Mall. That's kind of nice, sort of.
Oh
But
boy, we also
live-
have a mall.
Yeah, we live directly next to it, and that is like the only thing worthwhile in Aurora. Everything else
Yeah,
is
like
in
that's the big thing is I think Aurora's like expansion, probably newer city out of Denver, and it's just like expanded. I mean,
Yeah.
you're close to the airport, which is to say you're still like
Close-ish.
25 minutes away.
Or yeah, I was gonna
because
say because
The
the fucking
Denver airport's in
airport,
Kansas.
it's in the middle of nowhere. Who built the airport in the middle of nowhere? Fucking
Well,
20
they moved
miles
it.
outside of the city.
They moved it.
People who are
Used to be in Centennial, right by where at least my significant other works.
There is still an airport there. It's literally like the Centennial Airport. It's just nowhere near the
It's
city.
so it's not the Centennial Airport. There was another one. There's still a Delta building there, but they like tore up the runway, and there's the control tower's still there. We happened to get all of this while we were in the Uber going from the airport to our place from a guy who's lived in the area for like 40 years.
You just got the lore of Denver and Centennial.
Yes, we got the Denver lore, which I am very much enjoying Denver. I moved from Silicon Valley, lived in San Jose. I literally lived in an office park. That is not an exaggeration, and there was nothing to do.
Okay, that brings up a good point. Chatty Uber drivers, yay or nay?
Depends.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I feel about it too.
Like,
I gotta
the
be in
guy
mood
we
for
had
it.
was really cool, like really great, telling us stuff about the area, answering questions, that kind of stuff. Questioning Uber drivers, no.
No, yeah, don't
No,
fucking
no.
ask me about my business.
Somebody who's trying to just make conversation, But like, if it's natural conversation, that's totally different.
I love Denver. I love Colorado. It's spring. We've emerged from hibernation, and now having not lived somewhere where there are like seasons, like going from Arizona where it's just hot and less hot, to like being indoors during the winter and not doing anything outside. I'm like, oh, this is what seasonal depression's like.
And then going to spring,
And it's like
and then
all the
summer for a day.
hypomania, all the
and then
projects.
summer for a day, and then we had snow last week,
Yeah,
and then it was 85 degrees 2 days later.
Don't plant your plants before Mother's Day.
Correct.
Speaking of which, Pat, it's Mother's Day in like 10 days. Less than.
I am aware.
Patrick, how are you doing, man? What's new with you, buddy?
I'm good, man. I got back from Barcelona. The last
You
time
look
I think
tan.
we podcasted, well, 2 times before I was in Mexico. Yeah, we walked around Barcelona. The metro's great there. Alex was our tour guide because he'd already been there for 4 months, so he's back in the States with us. He went to the draft.
What is Alex like as a tour guide? I want to know.
He was good. He was able to get us from place to place. As far as like knowing anything about where we were going, he knew the things we wanted to see. You just didn't know much about them. We did the Barcelona History Museum, which was amazing, absolutely amazing, and put things in perspective for me from what we're going through here. Yeah, I mean, Spain and Barcelona have been around since the Roman Empire, and and we're just this fledgling country that really
I always love the ignorant
looks like we
twats.
don't know what we're doing. What's that?
Yeah, well, I always love the ignorant twats online who are like, no country or republic's ever survived more than 250 years, and now the United States is 250 years old, and it's like, I'm pretty sure there are European countries that are like date back to ancient times.
Well,
I don't
they
know.
weren't always
Spain.
democratic.
Well,
Sure,
Spain
sure,
has,
sure.
for the most part, been a republic with a few
With the exception of the period
interruptions.
where they had a tyrant.
Yeah, you're talking about the Franco period. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
You know,
even
so
then, the people just pushed
uninterrupted.
back against those folks, and obviously brought it back to where it is now. So
There are European pubs older than our country. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah, no question.
So today, as far as I don't think I have anything going on. I mean, we're still hosting the party that Bengineer is coming to right after this. Otherwise, we have, I don't know, spring is sprung. I built my son a playset over the course of a week. We built
damn.
a third of our property was just rocks. It was completely wasted space. So I built a fire pit. I built a playset. And we're halfway done with building and filling garden beds, which I moved about 15 tons of dirt from the road to our backyard in wheelbarrows 100,000 times, it felt like. So yeah, I'm tired. I'm phoning it in, folks. We're doing a Q&A. So I'm tired. I don't like to think hard. I just like to talk. So let's see what questions we got. All right.
I have a transition, a post-active transition.
Yeah.
You talked about old British pubs and how there's some British pubs that are older than the country of the United States. Do you know why they tended to be named such weird things like, the Fox and the Hound or the Rusty Saw or whatever?
I bet you it's something to do with there was a rusty saw in a stump next to where they started building it, so it became named the Rusty Saw.
Yeah, I think you're actually halfway there. They had to name them something. They had to name them off of pictures of identifiable things because most of the people who went there couldn't read.
Oh,
yeah, that makes sense. Literacy.
We got picture books,
1800 literacy
or
issues.
earlier,
yeah,
or
sure.
1600s.
So it would be a picture of a rusty saw, and it'd be like, "Where are we going? We're going to the Rusty Saw." And it's like,
which one is it? It's the one with the rusty saw.
With an R. That's funny because my 3-year-old, we started doing the alphabet, and our craft time when I'm days off with him. I basically do the craft, let's be honest. But we make letters of the alphabet with pictures on them. So I'm way ahead of you on the European pub game. I'm just looking for places to post them so they're relevant. But I don't have a lot of days off where I don't have my time filled with doing projects Nicole came up with and keeping 2 toddlers alive. So those are my days.
Welcome to becoming an adult.
Dude, this sucks ass.
Congratulations.
Welcome to why I'm not having kids.
Thank God I still have my game room, which we'll get to actually enjoy today for the first time since I moved here. Second time. Oh, yeah, you were here. Oh, yeah. Anyways. All right. So, questions. And I want to leave this as an open forum, too, in case you guys have questions like, Pat, what have you always wanted to ask a doctor? I know
honestly, I've kind of wanted to do an episode where we can ask each other questions about their professions. Where it's like, okay, this could be a dumb question, but I'm very curious. Also, if it's a dumb question,
what is it you do?
Yeah,
what is it you do? The episode? All right,
I'm a satellite necromancer, astrophotographer.
You're a satellite zaddy. Let's be honest.
No, I'm a satellite necromancer. My role has changed.
You bring
I brought one back from the dead.
How'd you do that? Okay, now I've got a question. What is a dead satellite, and how does one bring it back?
It was not serving its purpose. The mission it was set up to do, which is collect data. I will be very vague about what it is. A lot of satellites are set up to collect data. It was not able to fulfill that mission because the normal path of data was completely interrupted by something breaking. And there's about 4 different parts to how that data gets grabbed and then transferred and then sent down to the earth. No single part of that chain operates as it was intended to now, but it's getting more data than it ever was.
Okay. So you just redirected its course and it started doing its job?
Did
you turn it on, off and on again?
Oh, no, it did that stuff. We've done that several times.
Oh, shit. So for IT, from my computer and Apple not working to satellites in the sky, turning it off and on again is the first step?
I mean, yeah, generally. Have we tried rebooting it yet? No.
That's what adenosine does in SVT. Did I tell that story yet? My one story where I felt like a badass and then found out I did something I absolutely probably shouldn't have done.
No.
Okay.
Wait, hold up. Are you about to say you're an overqualified idiot?
Kind of. Something about Dunning-Kruger and all that. So I was in the hospital on night shift, and we had this patient who just went into SVT, which stands for supraventricular tachycardia. Basically, the heart's beating way, way too fast. It is beating 200 beats a minute. And for those who don't know, less than 100 is what I would consider to be normal. So the way that we fix that is we restart their heart. You turn it off and on again, because they talk about things called vagal maneuvers where you try to lower blood pressure and lower heart rates by like bearing down, pretending to poop. That increases parasympathetic nervous output, so you slow your heart rate down naturally. So when that doesn't work, you give them something called adenosine, which is something that pauses the heart for about, I don't know, feels like an hour. Anyway, so I go to the floor, I evaluate this patient. I'm like, all right, well, this is the next step in the algorithm. Let's give him adenosine. And all like 6 nurses walk in the room at the same time. And I'm like, okay, this is different. And I'm like, I know the algorithm. I know the medicine. So let's just do it. And they're like, okay, sure. Yeah, we can do that. And they push it. Her EKG stops. It flatlines. And she says something to the effect of, oh, I feel weird. And her heart starts back up and she's still in SVT. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. All right, let's do it again. So you give a double dose this time. And it stops her heart for even longer. And it's just what feels like an hour passes. And it was like, I don't know, maybe probably 10 seconds realistically. And it comes back and she's in a normal heart rate. It's great. And the head nurse, the charge nurse comes up to me and she goes, wow, that was really impressive. I don't know many residents that would feel comfortable doing that on the floor. And I was like, oh, I don't think I was supposed to do that by myself. Told my attendant, she was like, oh, well, it worked out, I guess. So I guess we're fine. Yeah. Well, if that happens, go ahead and call me. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Well, I stopped her heart. It started back up on its own like it was supposed to. I guess other things could happen. Anyways.
Like it not starting again?
Yeah, so I think I was
Doctor malpractice.
It worked. I mean, it did.
Whoa, he wasn't even a doctor at this point.
I was just a doctor with a supervising doctor over my shoulder.
Who was not there.
That doctor was asleep is all. So yeah, apparently they usually do that on like the Cards ICU floor or something. So I don't know. It worked out. She's fine. She got discharged a few days later.
Was there like a crash cart
typically go
waiting?
to the specialty place where they deal with the hearts by themselves, not on the floor. Yeah, that's interesting.
Hey, the code blue light was right there just in case. Although then again, I really don't think people want me. I think I've said this in the past. I'm like 6 foot, 250 pounds. And this is how my like DNR, do not resuscitate talks go. I'm like, you 85-year-old cardiac arrest risk grandma with osteoporosis want me putting my full body weight on your chest, beating your heart for you, breaking ribs. That's what you want right now? And like, God forbid that the person's incapacitated and it's a family member, because they'll be like, grandma's a fighter. She'll make it. I'm like, not with me doing it.
No. You know how you don't want your dog to jump up on grandma?
Yeah. God.
Now imagine 3 of those.
3 of them. 100 times a minute. That's how that goes. You turn grandma's chest to dust. Anyways, so what? I guess,
and I'm gonna have "Staying Alive" going through my head.
I now do Chapel Rowan's Pink Pony Club because that's 100 beats a minute. Pink Pony Club. I'm only about dancing on the Pink Pony Club. Anyways,
folks, I have no idea where the fuck this episode's going, but I like it.
I haven't done CPR in like 8 years, thankfully. I always hear people how they're like, oh, in our clinic, we've had to, resuscitate. If somebody dies in urgent care, they made a mistake. They shouldn't have come here. I've had multiple like heart attacks and at least 1 stroke come to urgent care. Like, well, I didn't want to pay the ER fee. I'm like, you're gonna now. I'm just $180, middleman. I'm still sending you to the ER where you were supposed to go. Anyways, all right. Frustrations vented out. What questions do you guys have for each other? If you had to ask a rocket scientist, a lawyer, or a doctor, what would you ask?
Why?
Why? I don't know, man. I still ask myself that every day. I went into the wrong field. I should have just gone into business and made a ton of money.
Why did I go into law?
Yeah.
Well, thought I was going to make a difference. Do good things. I have. Just not the way I'd expected.
At a smaller, and possibly at a smaller level than you maybe had hoped and dreamed.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess I thought I was going to be, wear the white hat and do all of the good things, and just because it just doesn't work out like that. I mean, just young and naive. But, there's good things that have been done throughout my practice that I'm proud of. So I'll take it. I still got more to do.
I can relate to that. I feel like I make a difference in individuals' lives. Like, from anywhere from 32 to 60 patients a day, I definitely improve at least 2/3 of their quality of life every day I work. In rare cases, I save a life. But that's not supposed to happen. But when it does feel good. I'm like, man, that person who came in for this rash, and then I noticed one leg was swollen and told them to go get an ultrasound. And mind you, in urgent care, there's not a lot of like closure. You don't usually find out what happens at the end of when you send somebody to the hospital or something. But one person I
Oh.
did find out, I was like, hey, listen, I know you're here for this rash, but this other thing I noticed is very concerning to me. I am worried about you. And most people, when a doctor says they're worried about you, they actually listen, surprisingly. I found out that person had like a clot, and then they got a CT of their chest because their oxygen was low, which in Denver is kind of a mixed bag. You could sit at 95% oxygen, but because it's a mile high, that could be totally normal. And so they got a CT scan, and they did have a pulmonary embolism. They did have a clot in their lungs. So they
Wow.
got started on anticoagulation.
Yeah, blood
They
thinners.
came in for a separate issue like 3 weeks later, and I happened to be working, and they thanked me personally. That was a cool little win for me. And I think
That is awesome.
to sum it up as like, why did I do it? It's those moments. It's very self-satisfactory, very self-serving in the sense of like you just got to take the wins when you get them, because there are not, there's a lot of losses in at least my line of work where
Same.
people don't get the results they want. They don't get good outcomes, or they get appropriate outcomes and they're not happy with them.
Right.
So,
Or you're having to tell them bad news.
yeah.
Right.
Fortunately, I'm not in a position where I'm giving devastating news as often as I was in my sports practice. I think I mentioned
Yeah.
I'd like gotten multiple, old people with back pain that severely worsened, red flag signs. You get an MRI and you find out it's stage 4 cancer. It's like, that's a terrible day. Fortunately, I'm not getting any advanced imaging, so it's like, oh, your broken wrist? Well, I have good news. This isn't surgical. I can say that because I'm a sports med specialist. I'm the most underpaid, overworked, flip it, specialist in the state right now. But hey, you lucked up and got me. So this is what we're going to do for you, and you're gonna be fine in 6 weeks. So those little wins are nice. Pat, what questions you got?
Well, Ben, are you happy with where you're at right now? Because I know when we started this podcast, you were not in the area or field you wanted to be. So how do you feel?
Right.
How do you feel having started with this podcast there, and now where you find yourself in the job that you're doing? How do you feel about that change?
Stephanie still reminds me nearly daily. She's like, I would kill to be in a position you're in. I love my job. It is like problem solving in the best way that like makes all the brain chemicals in my head do great things. And I mean, like I mentioned earlier, we were ready to write the satellite off and like put in the work, and it's back and functioning as it should be. Like it took a year, but it's back. And it like, that's so cool. And I now am working on a satellite that's we have a camera on it, and I can't share the images because we don't own them. The client that I'm working for does, but a image was good enough that like the CEO of our company is like, hey, can we get this printed off and like put on the office walls? And they're like, yeah, sure. So like one of the images I took is getting put on I'm like, that's so cool.
Sick. I was gonna say, I was like, I could not imagine going through higher education, getting a degree, and then not being able to use it.
Yeah,
Was it
that would be.
which is a reality for many people.
It is.
To go through higher education, get a degree, and not be able to utilize it in a field of your expertise. I feel like half the time college is just to prove that you can think critically or solve problems or be a good worker. But
it's
jobs like
the
mine.
reason
Yeah, go ahead.
that like I'm not this big push that I'm glad is kind of dying out. I think millennials may have been one of the last ones to really, really get hit by this. Well, you graduate high school and then you gotta go to college and get a 4-year degree to do what?
I was indoctrinated with that my whole life.
If somebody's really interested in welding, freaking go to trade school.
Yeah, go to trade school.
Apprentice under somebody and be a welder.
Absolutely.
Fun note. you can make bank as a welder
Or as a plumber,
or as a yeah.
carpenters.
We have a massive lack of trade skills.
Absolutely.
Like, also having done a trade skill for 2 years, like, yeah, it's hard work. It's the whole time's a learning experience, but it is, you can totally do that and you can make a living off of it.
Yeah,
And
there was
I was gonna say, going and getting debt from a 4-year college to get an degree in, I got a degree in poli-sci. Cool. What are you doing? I'm a plumber now. Okay, cool. So you're a plumber and you've got 4-year degree college debt? Yep.
Yeah, I feel like college was marketed as a necessity and priced as a luxury. And every single year I was in college, the cost of room, board, tuition went up every single year. So that to the point when I was a senior, my scholarship that was supposed to cover both tuition and room and board, which mind you means rent and food, didn't cover all of tuition. That is how much tuition hikes kept going for 4 years straight.
I will say, to tout my alma mater, Purdue has had 12 years straight of no tuition increases.
Good for them, because I don't know
Yeah.
what the hell Arizona's doing. Because
I
every
don't
single
know.
year it goes up, and we are the largest university in the country, and like, great, what do you show for it other than 60,000, 65,000 people going to a commuter school? Sorry, I'm from U of A. I have to take shots at ASU.
Oh no, having done some classes at ASU, I'm like, I think maybe you guys need to focus on the students you have rather than bringing in all the every student. Because, like, I wanted to pay. I've told this story before. I wanted to pay to take a class that I know I was qualified for with a 4-year bachelor's degree from a good university. And they're like, oh no, look, your sophomore year at Purdue, you didn't get what we consider a passing grade in Calc 3. I'm like, here's the deal. I have a bachelor's in engineering from a good engineering school. If I need to go back and teach myself some calculus that will be used, I'll do it. Like, why are you getting in my way? By the way, this was an academic advisor getting in my way.
It sounds
I
like a
went to the
pencil
professor-
pusher more so than an actual advisor.
Yeah, it's
I went to the
interesting.
professor and got a signed note, and the academic advisor said, wait for it, he wasn't supposed to do that.
That's ridiculous. Why would you be an obstacle to education? As an advisor, no less.
That's literally, I despise the ASU engineering school
What were you
because
gonna-
of the,
Go ahead.
I was gonna either get another bachelor's or do a master's. This was right before COVID, and then COVID happened, and I'm like, nope, I cannot do remote school. This sucks.
What were you going to say, Pat?
Oh, yeah, I was told I couldn't get do a double major at my college in 4 years. And I was
Sure you can.
discouraged by both my history and my political science advisors not to do that. And so I went and then I did it. So, yeah, don't let people tell you you can't do something. I mean,
Oh, I love me some fuck you energy. Like, I can't.
that's pretty.
Oh, the hell I can't.
It wasn't. Yeah. It was. It fits my personality though. You try to tell me I can't do something, and I'll
be
I'll
the
take that
biggest
chip
pain
off
in the
my
ass.
shoulder, and I will go. Yes, I can.
Pat, I got a personal question for you.
Oh, shit.
So I've been following the fuck you. I've been following the TikTok lawyer, and I love his content because sometimes I feel like common sense and sort of situations that I would expect to be the result of things just don't play out that
Yeah.
way in a legal sense.
Uh-huh.
I want to ask, why have you not tapped into social media more? I think
Oh,
you
we're all
would
in.
do.
We're all in social media. Like, I haven't done
Oh,
my
really?
own page. Yeah. Our firm has Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat, all of it. So, and we put little snippets, but we've never done anything as I don't
Well, you
know.
see, like viral
involved as
videos
that
of
guy.
people. Yeah, like viral videos that are like, goes viral on TikTok, viral on whatever, Instagram, and then people, weigh in like, oh God, but what is the legality of this? What's the legal situation? There's no way this person could be in the right. I would love to see you make content where you weigh in on that, because I feel like you would do well. One, you'd call an idiot and say it is what it is, but you'd also say like, and here's how it plays out in court.
Well, it's
I think
interesting
that would
you
be
said
fantastic.
that because I've been thinking about doing my own podcasting regarding what's going on in the world, because even the people that I do watch, I don't think adequately describe or explain the problem. And I see people responding in such a way that they just don't understand basic civics. Like, I need to take the fucking entire country right now and teach a civics class on how a law becomes how a law becomes a law, and how executive orders are not supposed to be laws.
Can you
At
take our
least in the
entire
long
executive
term.
branch and put them in that class, please?
Yeah, no, I don't think that. I
Probably
think
gonna
that'd
do
be
much
pretty
good.
wasteful. I think that'd be pretty
Fair.
wasteful. Yeah,
We're here to teach the
I mean,
willing.
they'll probably just text it out to whomever. That's
Jesus.
so. But I mean, seriously, it's an interesting point, because I do think that I'm pretty good at putting in plain language very complicated concepts for people, and I think that some of the things that are going on are just so above everybody's head as to why is this wrong? Why is this wrong in the way it's done? It's just that, Bush and Clinton and Obama, Biden, they all deported people. Yeah, they deported people after they went in front of an immigration law judge with an either court-appointed counsel or hired attorney, and then that judge made a decision on that person's fate, whether they could stay or go. That's due
That sounds like
process.
this. Hey,
But you got these idiots out there going, well, what's wrong with what Trump did? He's just deporting people like these other presidents. Those other presidents were breaking the law. No, he's not doing it like other presidents. So it's just kind of like that's just kind of like the most narrow issue that people don't get. And then they get like people flame up over these things. Like, why is everybody making such a big deal? And I'm like, well, we're kind of founded on the idea that we got railroaded based on our religion, based on the things that we said, and how the law was applied to us in a country that we previously lived in. And now we're here in this one. And we wanted this country to be different from those countries. So, what do I know? But yeah, I think you got a point,
we didn't
Dan.
want a tyrant.
Yeah, fair.
yeah. I mean, at the time, so like, I think the biggest, and I hate to call it clickbait because titles nowadays are, but the biggest thing that I read was a 7, a 4, and like a 2 or 3-year-old U.S. citizens, U.S. born, just got deported, and the 4-year-old had cancer and was undergoing cancer treatments, and like that just happened. No due process. People showed up in an unmarked van, one of them wearing a mask, grabbed these children, put them in a car, and drove them. And now they're in, what is it, El Salvador? I forget where they're.
That's called kidnapping.
Yeah,
that's called kidnapping, false imprisonment, assault. I mean, you name it.
They're U.S.
children.
citizens.
They're children.
The KGB did that shit.
Yeah, no shit.
I mean,
what was their skin tone? I wonder. Like, what did they look like? Do you have pictures?
I could make a guess.
I
don't have that information.
I don't want to make any assumptions. I was just curious.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like the U.S. government made assumptions and ICE made assumptions.
Well,
anyway.
I mean,
you'd be in good company, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, what about the Wisconsin judge that just got hooked and booked because she let some guy go out the side door?
Right. Isn't there a judge that just got arrested because she opposed?
Judge. And they arrested her on a low-level obstruction charge that just so that they could make an example of her. Yeah. And then I've seen people posting that, more or less Trump made a quote that was very similar to another previous dictator that will be unnamed from the World War II. But
Mussolini?
Sorry, but I haven't really actually tracked down that quote. I haven't found it, so I'm not going to actually attribute it to DJT. I just
paraphrasing.
I'm just thinking that it's very apropos, even if he didn't say it, that they're going to put these judges in line. Until they realize that they shouldn't oppose the current regimes.
Yeah, wasn't that the House Secretary who says we will come after these judges who get in our way?
It was Mike Johnson, actually. Mike Johnson.
Yes.
Yeah, Mike Johnson.
Sounds very democratic.
He's the House, the majority House leader, and he's scary, honestly. Very scary.
You mean the guy who barely became the House majority leader after what? a week or two of deliberation the first time. It was a long time.
Well, they were pretty divided on who the Republicans wanted to lead them, and they've chosen someone who's about as divisive and problematic as the president. So, I mean, I think they got a perfect fit in that position. So, at least for what they want to do right now, and it's really destroying their credibility with the independents. That's pretty clear. So
I like how in every topic nowadays things are so the political and social climate are so, I don't know, rampant. There aren't enough terms that we always find our ways talking back about.
Well, I don't think that we can't, because it's all that's all I'm seeing are headlines of just some of the most ridiculous things that I could possibly imagine happening here in our country, like stuff that I normally see, abuses of people's basic liberties. That's stuff that happens other places. That doesn't happen here. Oh, wait.
Now it does. Times change, I guess. I mean, due process, right? So like people who follow along with this, administration's policies go, well, it would never happen to me. I'm an American citizen. I'm like, yeah, but how would you prove that? How do you
prove that it's without a hearing, without a judge?
It has happened to American citizens.
Yeah,
and that's our point. It keeps happening to multiples. And so the reality is that the people who are in favor of this administration don't understand, like, first they came for the so-and-sos and I didn't say anything. Like that's
they
happening
don't care.
now. Because it's not them yet.
Yeah.
Yet is the key word.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I would just say I'm an American citizen. Yeah, but you have to prove it. And like, oh, well, I would. Like, don't you also have to
prove it to somebody who gives a shit and will listen, and it will mean anything to them.
We don't even understand.
Get that far.
I don't understand how ICE has gotten so just
how does ICE
brazen.
Still exist?
No, but how brazen they've been. They're sitting in court. They're sitting in courtrooms. They're coming into the courthouse, waiting on people who are being charged with misdemeanor level offenses so they could take them to deport them. I mean, and then I hear this other argument. The next argument I hear is, well, they came into the country illegally. That's criminal. And I said, well, our laws don't necessarily treat them as criminal behavior, as a criminal act. That is not in and of itself sufficient to get deported.
Asylum seeking is not a crime.
That's also true. It depends. You do have to prove that. There are other bases, and I don't know all of them, but even if you enter this country illegally, there are other bases for you to remain outside of just asylum seekers that exist in, immigration law precedent or statute. So it's complicated. And that's what this administration doesn't care about complicated. It wants simple. So it appeals to the basest and simple thoughts and reasoning of our country, because we have spent 100 years basically, teaching people just to do math and read and write, and that's about it. Not to critically think or think for themselves.
All right, I do have to derail this talk a little bit, because this is technically the what is it you do episode, or the Q&A part 2.
I fight against the government, so that's what I do. Day in and day out. Yeah.
I help sick people, and that's fine. That's enough. That's enough for me, and that's enough for the world.
I help stick satellites.
I help stick satellite.
You're the doctor of satellites, man. That's what you are.
Apparently. Like I said, I'm a satellite necromancer.
It's about as good as the Dragon Fucker books that you brought in here the last time.
I don't know if I've ever had a successful code, so I can't say I'm a people necromancer. But I wanted to at least dip into some of the questions that I have that we had left over from before. I don't know if we did this one last time. What would you say to college students that want to pursue a career in your field currently, if you could say anything?
Do it.
Nice. Actually, right now, now I'd say definitely is a good time to go into legal profession. There's a lot of work out there. We have a lot of aging lawyers, at least in my area of the world. I can't speak to larger population centers, but in my area of the world, there's a lot of opportunity.
Well, we always need doctors. So my thought is, if you are willing to sacrifice your 20s and part of your 30s, it is a very fulfilling career. You have to.
If you just want to forget about 15 years of your life, I mean, no problem. Go do it.
Listen,
So for sorry, I was gonna go off the sacrifice your 20s. My dad is a doctor as well. He like if you ask him about, some of the times when people think we had some of the best culture, like, oh, the 70s, he literally calls that his dark decade because there was no internet, there was no so like he knows what things were going on if they were big. He remembers watching the MASH finale. Other than that, he didn't really take in culture.
God, I don't remember the 20 teens. I just don't. I blinked and they're gone. And it was 2020, and then I blinked and it's 2025. No, I can relate to that really hard.
I just woke up in the 2020s because my kids are capable of caring for themselves and have my own business, so I can make decisions. So, yeah, you're talking like a 20 years of just like gonzo for me, from law school to practice.
This might be a fair comparison. I think going into medicine is like having kids. You are willing to sacrifice a significant portion of your autonomy, a significant portion of your financial health, your physical health, your mental health, in order to become an expert in your craft and in what you do, and theoretically to have people respect you for it. I had pretty bad imposter syndrome coming out of going into fellowship, coming out of fellowship in my first year or two of practice, where I was like, God damn, these people really coming to the right person? And in the last 2 to 3 years, I have finally realized, man, people don't know anything about medicine. People don't know anything about health. And I know so much more and so specialized and focused information that I am truly comfortable in saying I am an expert. But it took a decade and a half to get there. So
Sure.
If you are willing to sacrifice that to do it, I say do it. But you have to know what you're giving up, because I could not tell you how many weddings that I was asked to be, a groomsman in that I had to miss. I can't tell you how many birthdays I missed and or forgot because I was in the hospital or in clinic or just surviving, and how many important events in my family or my personal life that just kind of got shoved to the side. That's becoming better, but now I have kids, so it's kind of a different ball game. Same, but different. And so if you want to be regarded as an elite, if you want to be regarded as a, expert in what you do, go for it, going all in, because there is no not going all in on this.
It just dawned on me. Your most recent spawn is going to be a year and just a few more weeks.
In 2 weeks, less than my most recent. I know people are going to hear the season finale from last season, where I talk about Nicole being pregnant, and then we're halfway into this season and now he's 1 year old. So
I know. Well,
in case if that doesn't speak exactly to what I'm saying, I think you
my
can
daughter,
get it,
your niece, is going to be 17.
No,
and Alex will be 21.
Don't you say that.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I know.
I remember doing push-ups in Sedona with him sitting on my back as a 2.5-year-old.
Yeah.
I cannot believe that tiny little shit is now
18 years ago is what you're talking about. Something that happened 18 years ago.
Ooh, my knees.
It hurts, doesn't it? Just a little bit, yeah.
It hurts here, and in my knees.
And he just touched his chest and his head, and then referenced his knees, just so that the listeners are clear.
Just so we'll eventually switch to video, I'm sure. But
yeah, he said that
Patrick, you can just 2 seasons ago. Pat,
yeah, I know,
when you get
right?
a face for video, we'll switch.
Oh, well, then never. Okay, got it. I got the voice and a face for radio, folks. That's what I always say.
All right, one more. If you were reincarnated to when you were a teenager and you had all of your life's previous knowledge skills, would you choose the same career? Would you choose something different? Would you leverage your experience? Well, first I'd put all my money into Bitcoin when 10,000 Bitcoin was equivalent of $40, I still think about that story of the guy, when you talk about regret in life, the guy who used 10,000 Bitcoin to buy pizza once. And now it's estimated that $40 worth of Bitcoin is around $1 billion. I would do that with all my prior knowledge. Otherwise, I would probably go into YouTube or gaming or pursue some other interests like this. Podcasting, for example, is my side gig, my passion project. I would do something like that while still trying to become a doctor. Because YouTube,
so that you have an out, or a thing to completely divide your attention and not think about doctor things for a bit. Is that the?
I mean, it's part of it, but it's kind of if I ever made it big doing Let's Plays or YouTube something or other. When it was young, when it was fun, when it was new, and the idea of Let's Plays were new and catching on. Me and Ramon talked about it, and my biggest regret was us never doing it. because
You guys would have been pretty great.
he and I had friends who literally asked us if we like pre-rehearsed our banter and like asked us if we like rehearsed our like bits and gags going to like random hangouts. Like, no, this is just us shooting the shit. This is just our brains on rot mode. So that would be my one sort of, I'd probably still go into medicine because I still love what I do and it makes sense to me and I'm good at it. I think people constantly tell me it's like, wow, you're like the most normal, personable, professional doctor I've ever met. And I'm like, I'm just a guy doing his best. That's all. That's why I'm here. What about you, Ben? What would you do different?
I mean, probably mostly give myself some tips to not be a little shit. But like, I've actually
This isn't you talking to your old self. This is you getting to start over. At least that's the way.
Oh, me getting to start over. I mean,
you're 17
like,
again.
I'd go to some Green Day concerts. That's for damn sure.
Well, so just personal stuff.
Well, when I was like, 4 or 5, and everyone wanted to be I've told this to before as well. Everyone wanted to be, a firefighter or a police officer or what have you. I wanted to be an aeronautical engineer. I'm an astronautical engineer, but it's the same degree.
Close enough.
And I went to the school I wanted to go to since then as well. So no, I'd like I'd know how to do things like I know how to do college now. After having made high school work by not studying, which, spoiler alert, does not work in college.
Correct.
But I'd know that faster, and I never would have even tried to go into physics. I would have just started with engineering.
I have no idea where my life would take me if I had this knowledge, or this brain in a teenage body.
Go past the bar immediately.
I really think that I would work harder than I did, and taking advantage of younger opportunities that I just ignored. That would have taken me a different place. I don't know if it would have been the law or medicine. I know that those are the two things that I had contemplated when I was younger, but I think that I'd want to be a problem solver of some kind and not necessarily a problem starter. Which I mean, some days that's what I do. Let's be honest.
Would you say you're an activist, Pat?
I try to be. I mean, I could do better. I think we all can do better. But as far as whether it be medicine or the law, I'd probably still gone on one of those paths. It's just it looks slightly different than what I've got going on now. But it may have been more politically slanted or research and laboratory centered, because I hated labs when I just didn't have the patience for it when I was younger. But now, if I went back with this brain and at that age, I would definitely do a lot better in the sciences than I did. I would put more effort into it. So,
well, I do empathize with the like working harder and trying harder in the things that are brief. And I still think of med school as like the longest and shortest period of my life, where the first 2 years I cruised and just was happy being a B med student because I didn't try that hard. I coasted on my prior physiology major like knowledge and got 80% of what I needed. And then when I started my third year of med school and clinicals, I was an idiot. I just didn't know shit. So the vast majority of learning I had to play catch up on. And I feel like I would be a much better doctor if I'd been a better med student when it mattered. So I think that might be one thing I'd speak to. All right, last question. There's girl math and boy math, but are there good examples of doctor math, lawyer math, pharmacist math, rocket scientist math? I like this question.
Spoiler alert, mine's just called calculus.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think they call yours like physics, calculus, all that jazz.
Calculus, physics. Yeah, that's like, mine's just the slam dunk.
Your math is just math. That's boring. Yeah. Patrick, what is lawyer math?
It's scary. You don't want to know. Lawyers do not go to law school to do math.
God.
Okay,
Doctors
so we were in court. All right, I have a good story for this. This happened just this past week. I'm in court on a sentencing, and we got 3 different lawyers, the judge, the prosecutor, and myself, doing math on how many days credit my client has for jail time. And we all 3 get different numbers. Every
Oh,
single
no.
one of us get different. So then
It's
after
all different sentencing math.
yeah, so after about 2.5-3 minutes of this banter between the judge, myself, and the prosecutor, the judge and the prosecutor finally agree on a number, and it's of course a lower number than what I had mathed out. I'm pretty sure that they were right and I was wrong, but I literally pull up the calendar and I count 1, 2, 3, day to day. Like I'm just going one day. Well, because that's the easiest way to do it. Is because the probation will in the report say as of the day of sentencing, it has that they have the X amount of days. Well, that report was from February, and now we're sentencing in April. So there's no updated credit report. Now that jail credit report, let me put that other word in front of there.
You served part of your time.
Yeah, you served part of your time, and he served more than half of what he was going to be sentenced to already. So we were just hashing out what his credit was supposed to be. And yes, we can't math. We're lawyers. That we did not go to law school to do math. Although there are some lawyers that are adept at that, and I typically am. But sometimes I fail at that too.
I believe Alex K may be one of the lawyers that may be more adept at math.
Well, yeah,
It's
he was
possible.
a scientist before he became a lawyer.
Right,
No kidding.
yeah.
No shit. The dude did complicated ass shit that I am still not sure how to do.
Yeah, he's a pretty smart kid.
Alex. Dr. Math is calculating amoxicillin doses for children and figuring out how to weight-base children because they're not just tiny humans. That's all the math I do every goddamn day. It's like, okay, it's an ear infection. So
How
it's
not
90
to
mgs,
kill the child with too much
90 mgs
amoxicillin.
per kg. How many pounds in a kilogram is 2.2? 90 per kilogram. Oh no, that's gonna kill him. Okay, what's the max dose? It's that, like 12 times a day. Otherwise, so I can speak to this a little bit. I have it's undiagnosed, so take it with a grain of salt. Like mild dyscalculia, which is I don't even know if I'm saying that correctly. It's like dyslexia but with numbers. So thank God we actually can save phone numbers in our phone. I cannot tell you how many times I called the charge nurse to ask for an extension for a specialist or something in the hospital. And they'd be like, 866-754-83241. And I'm like, okay, 8? What was the next number? And I would just transpose numbers left and right, and I'd be calling the wrong person. And then so many wrong numbers because I can't do numbers. So yes, I triple check my Dr. Math of calculating amoxicillin in urgent care 20 times a day because I don't want to kill little Timmy.
I am sad that we don't have a pharmacist here because having a pharmacist in the family, I'm pretty sure their answer would just be, we count
by 5.
We count by fives.
That would be Ramon's answer. If it's not divisible by 5, he can't do it.
No.
All right, guys, we got a party to go to, and Benjineer, you're invited. Get your skinny ass over here.
There's the stack of games.
Hell yeah! And here are the lights. I'm going a little overboard with the lights. All right, guys. Listeners, thank you for tuning in. Soon to be listeners and viewers, probably, maybe. Hope you laughed.
Famous
Hope you learned something. Hope you enjoyed. It's like we get really popular. We start breaking top 100, top 50, top 20, podcast charts, and then we go to video and immediately fall off the charts again.
Oh,
God!
I forgot.
Oh, it's like that.
Sean tried to pull one over on me. He's like, "Yeah, Pat, that episode that I did with you and Dan, that one's gotten 3 times as many views as every other podcast that you guys have done." And I went, "Oh yeah, really?" And he goes, "Oh no, I'm just kidding." I said, "I know, because Dan hasn't uploaded any of this season's videos yet." So
the rule is I don't upload
5.
until we hit 6.
6. We got to do one more, and then you'll upload.
Yes, but I work next weekend, so it's got to be either Sunday after 5 or the following weekend, or a day during the week.
I can't do during the week, dude. I can barely fucking breathe during the week.
Oh, God. Hello, special guest. What's up, Ronan?
Special guests, Ronan Casey.
All right. Thank you for listening. Follow us on social media.
Now.
We're on all major podcast platforms.
Bye-bye.
Hello, son. I love you. Please stop doing what you're doing. Okay, bye.
See you.
How'd you guys like I love you too.